Could a single button on your eBay account be silently killing your sales? Well, eBay's time away mode feature may seem like a harmless way to step away and take a break, but the truth is it's likely to be driving customers away, crippling your store's performance. Now I know this because I stepped away over the Christmas break for 10 days and I clicked that dreaded button, and unfortunately my sales have plummeted. In today's video, I'll reveal exactly how time away mode impacts your visibility, your buyers and your bottom line, how poorly my sales did while I was taking time off, and we'll also have a look at the sales that did manage to come through. But spoiler alert, there wasn't very many. Now first things first, you're probably thinking, well, what causes you to have to go onto time away mode? And for me, it was I wasn't able to do my shipping. I was actually physically away from the garage for 10 days. I was down in Melbourne catching up with Kate's friends and family over the Christmas break. And it meant that I couldn't do one of the fundamental parts of selling on eBay. Look, sales have definitely plummeted because there's an alert that pops up on every single one of those listings in your store once you've activated time away mode. And it lets buyers know that you're not going to be able to ship the item off until a certain date. For my scenario, it was January 1st and I was to be away for 10 days. Now, buyers can still buy items during that time period, but you can't obviously then ship it off until 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, potentially 10 days time, depending on when the person is looking at your item while you're away. If we have a look at the numbers here, I'm just going to pull the numbers up to give you guys a bit of a look. And look, as you'll see, $1,449 is what came through. We would typically do about $3,500 over a 10-day period. So sales plummeted by 55%, and it was expected based on what I've just told you guys. People want their items fast, right? So if you're saying I'm not going to ship an item off for 10 days, people are going to run away from that and they're going to pick another listing that is allowing the item to be shipped off in a much quicker space of time. So that's the fundamental reason why these sales aren't coming through. Fortunately, we had a $63 average sale price, which was really quite healthy, but there was only 23 sales. So a whole lot less in sales volume as expected. Do I recommend you guys use the time away mode feature? Well, in these scenarios, when you have nobody to assist you with shipping or listings or anything like that, you're kind of forced to do it, and eBay's got the functionalities to put it in place for you, but you can just expect to get these sort of results, 40, 50% drop in sales. The way that we're going to pick things back up now is we're going to get back into some really, really good listings. I was actually away for those 10 days, but I was still managing to source items while I was away on my travels. We're going to have a bit of a chat about that later as well. Is that a Christmas present? How nice is that? New favourite toy. We're back. Just like that. Well, how many days? 11 days.
Yep.
It has been, not since we put up our last video because we've not posted for a few weeks, I reckon. But we are back in the garage on the 1st of January after arriving home yesterday from a massive drive.
5 p.m.
5 p.m, yeah. We drove for 3 days from Melbourne back to the Gold Coast. And then we've just tried to jump back into the garage and sort out a few things, grab a few sales that have been able to come through. Obviously, we've shown you guys already what the sales numbers look like over that break. But I want to take you over to the whiteboard and I want to talk about the goals that we've got being the 1st of January for 2025. So Kate's written them up here on the board. Our goals, I mean, the overarching goal for us is to do $130,000 in revenue. We're going to do that by trying to have a $50 average sale price on average sales per item. We're also going to have a store size of 1,000 listings. We don't want to get a store size too big, so we're going to try and keep it at 1,000, and we're also going to try and achieve 900 sales over a 90-day period. What that means is for every active listing that we put in, we should hopefully get a sale back for it. And then we also want to hit 100,000 subscribers, which you can help us with right now. If you could hit that sub button to get us up there, we need about 64,000 subscribers in 2025. We need to triple our numbers.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I'm pretty confident. I want to know what your goals are though for eBay this year. Just one goal. What is your one main goal for eBay? Is it the fact that you just want to simply create an account and start selling? Or do you want to try and scale it to another level that you haven't been at before? Whatever it is, drop it into the comments and let me know. We are doing a personal goal this year, which I should talk about too before we get into it. What we're going to be doing in the garage, I should say before this, is 15 of the sales. Where are they? So these I've already gone ahead and done, because they were priced between $20 and $40. So I've already gone ahead and just, you guys don't want to deal with that. You guys don't need to see what those were. They're just very basic bread and butter items. But what I've got for you in this video is 15 sales 15 sales that are over $40. And the number one sale was a monster as well, so that really helped us over that break. But yeah, the personal goal that we've got for ourselves is something that we're kicking off today, and it is 75 hard. For those of you who don't know what 75 hard is, you've got to tick off 6 different personal goals throughout the day, and that is taking a progress photo of yourself, drinking 3.6 litres of water, reading 10 pages of a book, 2 workout sessions, stick to a diet, and no alcohol. So we're going to work through 75 days, and if you go on Instagram and you search the hashtag 75 hard results, there's some pretty big improvements made. So what are we? 12, 14 hours in so far. We're on track still.
We're going along.
We haven't slipped off. We haven't slipped up yet. But yeah, let's get into these what solds. The first one that I've got for you guys is a DVD bundle here of season 1 to 6 of CSI Miami. There it is there, season CSI Miami 1 to 6. This will go into a box, I reckon, just because it's a little bit bigger than the average. Unfortunately, it's a mixed series of Region 4 and Region 2. So I think that's why it took a little bit longer to sell. But we did get a $40 sale price on that. So actually, based on the fact that we'll have to ship it off for about $12 to $15, and we bought them all for say $1 to $2 each, there's actually not going to be a ton of profit in that because the shipping cost is so much at $15. So you've really got to be aware of your shipping costs associated to your listing price. $40 with a $15 shipping price, it doesn't leave you with too much. That's why that eProfit application that we talk about a lot should come in really, really handy for you guys if you're just starting out and you're not familiar with your numbers.
Okay, our next sale is Chicago PD, seasons 1 to 4, which sold for 40?
Yep.
This one is a partial season set, so complete is up to 8 or maybe 9. Matt got this from David in a bulk buy just before Christmas, so it sold actually pretty quickly, considering it's the 1st of Jan today. But yeah, if we had the full 8 seasons, we could have got maybe 80 double.
Yeah, and nice easy one to put in a small satchel too, so good to get a fast turnaround even on a partial.
Yeah.
The items that we're going to be trying to list up this year are going to be DVDs. We're going to continue to aim for a ton of those, and we're also going to look for more of this, the video game category. We've only got a few different video games here on the cabinet, so can really expand into that section. We're just going to try and link up with some deals this year, potentially with some private picks to get more of that coming in. But all the rest of the stuff that we've been trying to sell, the books maybe a little bit, but it's just going to be a heavy focus on this stuff and work on that average sale price of $50. I found this, which is like a strategy guide for Mario Kart on the Nintendo Wii. I found this at a flea market at Carrara Markets just locally here, and we paid a couple of bucks for it. Unfortunately, when I got home, it was only going for about $15 odd. So I paired it with the game, and I did a $40 listing, and we got it. So this is a really nice way to make sure that you're not putting out really lowly priced items like $15. That's going to actually have to go into a medium satchel because of the size. And that's going to arguably cost us about $10 to ship off. So a $15 sale price, $10 in shipping, that's not worth listing up at all. But when you partner it with the game, which is a $30 sale, we've got a $40 overall that's going to ship off for $10. A much better scenario, and a really, really important lesson there to understand all the numbers associated to the item that you've got, all the costs that have to come out before you can have your actual profit.
Next is The Simple Life, DVDs 1 through to 5. This one sold for $45, and this was from a private pick Matt did with David, again, just before Christmas. So a really quick turnaround. It will fit nicely into a small satchel, being the 5 DVDs that it is. Have you ever seen this show?
I've never watched The Simple Life.
Neither have I, but I would be keen to. I love Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton, yeah. I think the rarest out of all of this is number 5. Like most DVDs, guys, you're going to get more value in the later seasons, and I think that is actually a good one to sell, even if it was on its own. So the fact that we've got all 5 there, bought them off David for about $10, I would dare say, so that's 10 into 45 with an $8 shipping price. So that's going to be some good profit for us. All right, there's a really good story behind this next sale. We've got Robin Hobb here, and I believe this one is a complete series set of the Rain Wild Chronicles. We actually got a $50 sale price on these. This was the last listing that I put up before we went to Melbourne, Kate. And we ended up getting a few more Robin Hobb books because when I took those to the counter, the guy said to me, he goes, "Oh, Robin Hobb, are you a fan?" And I said, "Yeah, I am, obviously. I'm buying the books." And he goes, "Well, I've got a few more out the back." And he brought out these, which I'm yet to go and list. Reason why I haven't listed these is because I believe they are just partials. They're not a complete series set. Robin Hobb obviously has a bunch of different series that he's put out. So for the fact that they aren't a full series set, I'm actually thinking of listing them as one big Robin Hobb allotment. And I'm probably thinking about $10 a book, which would be $120 worth of a listing, which really kind of fits in perfectly to our average sale price of $50 that we're trying to aim for. So that's the way I'm going to tackle that. Robin Hobb, 12 books, $120. This one here, the complete series set, did sell in the space of just 2 weeks. And to ship this one off, if you're wondering, I think we should go ahead and put this one into a small box. It'll probably cost us about $10 to $12 to ship it off. What have you got there?
I've got some Lost DVDs.
What a show. Lost.
Seasons 1 to
That's complete.
complete.
Yep, complete series 1 to 6.
1 to 6.
On that one.
Love it. This one sold for $55.
Sweet.
And Matt purchased it from David again.
We're getting all the David sales.
Sales, yeah. Such a good collection he has.
He does.
This will go into a box.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll put it in a box, 10 to 12, maybe 15. We'll have to wait and see where it's going.
Yeah.
But that was an awesome sale. Lost, the complete series set, have sold it a number of times before.
Heaps.
Now, getting back to those Robin Hobb books that I found just before we went away, I also, on that very same thrift trip, I really should have filmed it because we found so much good stuff. I've actually found in a thrift store a half price day of all things as well. These DVDs, we've got Boston Legal. Look at that. Look at that for a price tag. This is what you see in JB Hi-Fi. $153 for Boston Legal. We've got a Friends box set there that is brand new and sealed. And I also found this along with it, another brand new and sealed series of Justified. I think I paid like $30, $10 each. I think they were trying to sell them for $20 each and it was half price day. So I bought them all for $10 each. An absolute steal. And this one has gone on to sell, Justified. We got a $65 sale price on that one there. So, you know, I think it is 6 seasons in there. So it looks like we might have to put it into a medium satchel. We'll put a lot of bubble wrap around it, put it into a medium satchel for $10. But you don't often see complete series sets cased up like this in a thrift store.
For half price.
Sealed for half price. And I got all 3.
Wow.
So I just whacked them on the shelf here because we do have a little DVD section over there. But I've just thrown it here because we were running out the door to go on holidays. But that one's already out the door. Justified. A really good series to try and find. As you'll see, guys, we are selling, apart from that Chicago PD, more or less complete series sets. I think CSI Miami has a few more seasons to it. But you generally get the turnaround when you find the complete series. So just something to pay attention to when you're out there sourcing. I know it's hard to find, but that's the focus. And if you're not finding it, don't buy it, is my rule of thumb. You don't need to be constantly buying things. If it's the wrong item, know it's the wrong item and say no. Do you want to know the secret to getting 2 tyres for free?
Yes.
Car tyres. I can tell you.
What is it?
Go thrifting when they change it over.
Oh, right.
I only had 50 minutes the other day. 50 minutes in between the mechanics changing over my tyres before we went to Melbourne. And I found this video game in a thrift store that I'd actually never been to. He goes, come back in 50 minutes. So I went for a walk. I saw a street sign that said thrift store. And I just wandered on in. I didn't even know the thrift store was there. This game, Beautiful Katamari, was sitting in there on the Xbox 360. I paid $2 for it. I'd never heard of it before, which obviously got my interest because I thought that the games that I've never heard of potentially could be worth a little bit of money, just rarer and tougher to find. Sure enough, it goes for $65 and that's what we sold it for. So we'll put that into an envelope for $6.50, some huge profit in that one there. Definitely a game to add to your watch list. But I found that, and I also found the Monkeys, which was a VHS tape set, brand new and sealed, big box. We sold it the day that I bought it and listed it for $150, and I paid $28 in this very same thrift store. So when you add this and you add the Monkeys VHS, both have gone on to sell in 2 weeks, and we got ourselves 2.
That's how much your tyres were.
How much the tyres were? Yeah. So there you go. I'm gonna keep that a bit of a secret as well. I think the thrift store.
We'll be going back there.
I'd never even known. I didn't even know it was there, and it was a random like graffiti sign that somebody said, you know, thrift store down this way. So I went for a walk, and it paid off. Okay,
next up is Californication, seasons 1 to 6 on Blu-ray. These, this isn't the full series. It goes to 1 to 7. So only just missing one season. Still sold for $70. Also was a private pick from David. So all my listings are from David today.
Unreal.
This will go into a medium satchel just because it is the 6 width apart, and we'll put some bubble wrap on those.
Good one. Yeah, Blu-rays, we need to do more of them. We find a lot of DVDs, but actually a little bit of additional value is in this category right here, the Blu-ray. So try and find them if you can. They are a tougher one to get with these sort of TV show seasons, but the process is no different. TV shows in the Blu-rays do really, really well. Bear Grylls, Ultimate Survivor. Another complete series box set here. You'll see on the back here that we've got a lot of different editions in this series. So whenever I find these sort of just, bigger box set type things, I'm always searching them up to see if there's any value here. Now we got a $40 sale price on this. It was found in a thrift store for $15, but we got international postage. Didn't check to see where this one's off to, but it's $28 worth of additional revenue. So $68 odd, and that's why it's coming in, in this spot. We're working on the cheapest all the way up to the most expensive, as you guys can probably tell. So yeah, that was a good little one to find. I didn't think it would actually sell very fast, but it probably took about 3 months to sell. So, 90 days worth of a sell-through rate. You want to be turning your store over every 90 days. So that's why our goals are to try and get 900 sales over a 90-day period. We want to be doing 10 sales every single day, and we want to be listing up around about 10 sales, or 10 listings, I should say. So really important to focus on sell-through rate. 3 months kind of just hit the okay area. If this went on to 4, 5, 6 months, we would probably go in and try and drop the price to get some movement on it. So it just snuck in. Getting away from the DVDs.
Yeah, sorry, David. Next up is 3 PS4 wireless controllers. They have sold for
$79.
$79.99. These will go into a box, and we'll put a bunch of bubble wrap around these just to protect all the buttons and gear sticks. Is that what they're called?
Yes, let's go with that.
Joysticks.
Yeah, let's. So these we could have listed up individually for $35, and that would have been about $100 worth of value, but you would have had to take out shipping at $8, $8, and $8, so $24 would have come out in shipping. So therefore, I thought to myself, well, let's just go ahead and do it for $80 free postage on all 3. It's now going to ship off for one shipping cost of only $8.50, which makes us an extra $16. Hopefully all that makes sense, but sometimes, guys, you don't need to do individual listings. Bulking them up for a better single average sale price of $80, I believe, is a much better way to go about those. I don't know what percentage it is. I would argue that it's probably about 80%. DVDs, it's all we're selling at the moment over the Christmas break. Sea Patrol here, very, very big one. Now this is the first of 3. This is our top 3 that we've got for you guys. All over $100, $100 or more. This one here, Sea Patrol, very, very tough season to find. Sea Patrol Season 5. A little bit like the Simple Life Season 5 that we were just talking about earlier. Just could have sold that one off individually, but we had the full stack. So we're able to go up and list this one for $100, and we got the very full asking price of $100. So yeah, 5 DVDs. We'll put that into a small satchel. A fantastic turnaround. A complete series set. There's no more out there. 5 seasons is all you need, and we've got them and we've sold them.
Alrighty, our next sale is the DeLonghi coffee machine.
How's your coffee making skills?
Not bad actually. I used to be a barista.
Nice.
But I haven't used this one.
Oh. There we go.
There we go. So this one sold for $150. It's our second highest sale of the day, or the time that we were away. And Matt actually listed this for $180 initially. Did take a while to sell. We found it in a thrift store.
It was like $35.
Yeah,
Something
$35
like that.
or something, but it was a while ago, like maybe 4 months ago.
Yeah, it did sit around for a bit.
So hence why we lowered the price, and sale came through.
Very happy to see it come through, because it's not a typical item we try and sell. It's
No.
not like we have another bunch of coffee machines up for sale. So, look, I do think I would do it again.
Yeah.
I think if we saw it for $35.
Well, the guy He like sold it to us. He was like, I just tested that and just had a drink of coffee from it.
Yeah, he
and
goes,
it works. It works great.
He goes, it works great. We probably don't, yeah, I don't know. I think it's awesome. I think 35 into 150, that's going to make us a lot of money. It will be a bit of a process to put it into a box, but I still think it's going to be worth it at the end of the day. The profit's going to be maybe 60, 70 odd dollars, which is pretty awesome.
Pretty good.
Number one is the consignment shoes. We did have a pair of consignment shoes going to sell. Now, Jason and I did this deal maybe about 5 or 6 months ago. It was quite a while ago, and we've kind of looked at these shoes as ultimately Jason will get them back eventually, but they have sat up and sold. The reason why Jason's going to get them back and they're not selling is that we've got them priced up maybe a touch too high to what they're actually worth. This is based on the fact that Jason initially bought them for a high price, to try and make money on them. His initial buy price meant that we've had to list them up a little bit too high and they just aren't selling. These though did go on to sell. Really nice pair of shoes these. They're all brand new, as you can see here. We've got a World Cup Netherlands edition of the Air Force One. So I think it's a pretty sweet shoe. It'll go through authentication completely fine. There's no issues with authentication on Jason's shoes. Like I said, it was just down to the price. Actually, funnily enough, these have already been eBay authenticated. See that there? Authenticity guarantee. So these have already actually gone through the process of authentication, but they will go through the process again. Anytime you sell a shoe on eBay for over $150, the shoes in Australia go to Sydney and a person literally sits there. That's his job, to go through and check whether or not every shoe is authentic. So they do put a lot of time and money into the authentication process for shoes at eBay. But I know that I can send these off to America and they will go through that process first, but there'll be no issues with these at all. They're a US 9, they're a UK 8, so they are actually a little bit small, but they did sell for $269 plus $35 in postage, so $304 in revenue. They'll ship off for about $40 odd dollars, I think, to America. I've shipped off 1 or 2 of these shoes in the box. We've sold about 4 or 5 of Jason's shoes. He needs a payout in the next few days for those 4 or 5 sales that we've got. So he'll make a bit of money, I'll make a bit of money. We're doing this 50-50. So we get the actual profit after fees, post, cost of goods, GST. I get 50% of that, and then Jason gets the other 50 as well. So not a bad deal. Good for me because the shoes are obviously at a higher average sale price, $300 odd worth of a sale. When you break it all out, it does actually give us both a fair amount of money. So yeah, I'm happy to have these shoes. I think we're at the end of the run though. Starting the new year here, I think I'm going to give these back to Jason. But it's still 4 or 5 sales that we've had have turned around for a pretty good result. Now, I think one of the biggest issues we've got here as eBay sellers is, and I'm sure you can agree, is sourcing stock. Our thrift stores are really priced up. The flea markets are obviously a tricky place as well because there's so much competition. But I've always said that every single garage that you see has always got stock in it. So you should always be mindful of the fact that it is out there. You've just got to get your hands on it. So a nice little example here is Kate and I going down to Melbourne to visit Kate's parents, and we knew before we even went down that Frank, Kate's dad, has got a lot of good stuff just sitting in the garage that he and Kath, Kate's mum, are never going to watch again. They're never going to use, but they've got a lot of the stuff that we like to sell, which is DVDs and CDs, and we've even got a couple of books here as well. So we've got very limited footage, but we might throw that over the top here now in the edit to show you guys the scene that we were just picking through the beach house, the holiday house that Kate's family has. And we've uncovered all of this really, really good stuff. Now, Frank has said, just go ahead and sell it and make your money and take Kate out on a nice meal. We won't be doing that. We won't be doing that. Frank watches these videos, and I've already mentioned the fact that that won't be happening. I might take Kate out on a nice dinner, but we'll give Frank some money as well, basically is what I'm trying to say. Reason why is because he's got some great stuff. Have a look at this. We've got a Beatles mini CD collection here. Now, they're all a bunch of different Beatles singles, and it is a complete set of 22 in a nice little collector's Beatle case there as well. And I said to Frank, I said, it's worth about $230 odd. And Frank said, well, have a further look into it. And we realised you might be able to list this up for about $300. So we're going to attempt it. We're going to go for $300. And that was just one example of a lot of good things that they had there in the garage. We've even got some books here as well. We've got a Stephen King collection here of part 1 to 5, or 1 to 6, I should say. nice small Stephen King books, and they'll go into a small satchel for about $50 when they go on a sell. Bunch of different Blu-rays. We've got Boardwalk Empire right there. I've got almost every single season there of Breaking Bad, which is a bit of a stock standard bread and butter. We've got a lot of different CDs as well. We've got a lot of, I think there was Fleetwood Mac and there was John Farnham in there. So we're going to do them as artist bundles. We're not going to sell them individually. We're going to do them as big bundled lots. So they should go on to do really well. We've even got this one here as well, Get Smart. I think there was only 5 seasons of Get Smart. So that might be another $50 listing there. Now, all of this just in the garage, down at the holiday house, and I just obviously tell people what I do. Frank and Kath both watch the videos. They know what I like to source, and they said, look, we got a lot of this stuff that we don't want. You can come in, you can take it, and you can go on and sell it. So we're going to be doing that over the next couple of days. This is going to be the majority of our listings for the next few days. We've got some really nice old school vintage Stephen King books here that we might be doing as a bit of a bundle. There's actually quite a few Stephen King books because you had those small ones there. Frank's definitely a Stephen King fan from the looks of this. He used to be. He's not, well, he's not anymore because I've got them.
Much, yeah.
I've got them off him. But yeah, all of that might be one big listing for Stephen King. But guys, what I'm trying to say here and what I'm trying to do by showing you all of this, there's opportunity everywhere. You know, like just think about the opportunity of being able to source stock in other locations or different spots that you wouldn't otherwise think of if you weren't in the game of selling on eBay. Friends, your hairdresser, the kids' swim teacher. You're like, everyone has got stuff in the garage. So my biggest call out for you to kick off 2025 is start asking questions. Start trying to source stock in other places than thrift stores, garage sales and flea markets, because there is a lot of good stock out there. You've just got to be able to get your hands on it. Surely Dora. 2008 Dora the Explorer with a backpack. Like that would do well. Very sweet. And they're a size 13. My size. No cracking. I feel like we can get a good amount for them.
Whoa.
So for 60,
He's gonna do it.
I think we should.
Okay.
We should probably go 200. Cash converters. Where are we?
Campbelltown.
I've actually never seen so many DVDs in the cash converters. And half
Crazy.
price though.
Beautiful.
Because they're slowly going out, but like part of Dixie, 15 we paid $7.50, and that goes for 50. So $7.50 into 50. And then I got every single episode of Bones
Nice.
for 25, and we can sell that for like 80 to 100. And this was 3 seasons, which is complete for Wonderland. We only paid $4 for all of them. So that'll be 4 into 30. And then there are a couple of others, Prison Break,
Prison Break.
and Alias.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very nice.